Get ready to know the exciting story of Ruth Love that redeems. Hello guys! Today we will dive into Ruth's biblical history, a narrative full of emotion and redemption. Follow with us every detail of this inspiring plot. In the days when the judges ruled Israel, a great hunger plagued the earth. Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and his 2 children departed from Bethlehem, their hometown, seeking livelihoods in foreign lands. The fate chosen was Moab, where the family was temporarily established. However, the tragedy fell on them. Elimelech died, leaving Naomi widowed. The children married Moabites, Ruth and Orpah women, but also died after approximately a decade of union. Thus Naomi found himself alone in a foreign land, facing the pain of the loss of her husband and children. In return to Bethlehem, Naomi and Ruth faced a journey full of challenges and uncertainties. The trip was marked by moments of deep reflection and solidarity between the 2 women. Ruth, with her courage and determination, showed a bond of loyalty and genuine love to Naomi, choosing to remain by her side even in the face of adversity. Upon arriving in Bethlehem, Naomi's hometown, they were welcomed by the local community at the beginning of the crop of barley, bringing with it the hope of better days and new opportunities. Ruth's decision to accompany Naomi revealed not only an act of faithfulness, but also a powerful example of compassion and altruism amid trials of life. Ruth, moved by her determination and courage, decides to seek a way to contribute to Naomi's livelihood. Thus she ventures into the fields in search of barley ears to ensure food for both. On his way, Ruth meets the field of Boaz, a respected and prosperous man in the region, who reveals himself as a distant relative of Elimelech's family. With humility and diligence, Ruth begins her work of breathing, demonstrating her gratitude for the opportunity to reap in the fields of the relative. Generosity and divine protection manifest themselves when Boaz becomes aware of Ruth's presence in her domains and treats her with kindness and respect, ensuring her safety and provision during the harvest journey. Ruth, when she arrived at the field of Boaz, was welcomed by the atmosphere of generosity and solidarity that reigned there. The vibrant colors of barley plantations danced gently in the wind, creating a scenario of peace and prosperity. Boaz, when seeing Ruth among the breathing, was filled with admiration for the young woman who showed so much dedication and gratitude. With a warm smile, he approached and offered words of encouragement to Ruth, recognizing his courage and humility. In the face of Boaz's goodness, Ruth was strengthened in her purpose and silently thanked her for being under the protection of the one who would become a divine instrument on her journey. Naomi, with her wisdom and life experience, realizes the opportunity for a new beginning for Ruth. In an intimate conversation, in the light of the stars, Naomi shares with Ruth the importance of seeking redemption through the rescue established by tradition. Ruth, played by the generosity and care of Boaz, is honored to follow the advice of her mother-in-law. With courage and determination, she prepares to address Boaz at the right time, relying on the divine orientation that has guided her steps there. The night passes serene, packed by the hope of a promising future where love and fidelity intertwine in a path of redemption. Boaz, a righteous and generous man, recognizes Ruth's nobility of spirit and admires her for her courage and loyalty. In a gesture of deep respect, Boaz expresses her gratitude for Ruth's presence in her life and the light she brought to her days. With kind words and sincere look, he reveals his desire to protect her and support her at all times. Faced with the decision of the closest relative to give up the rescue, Boaz stands before the community as God's chosen Redeemer to unite his destinations. Amid the expectation and joy of present, Boaz extends his cover on Ruth, symbolizing the covenant of love and commitment that will seal their future forever. Boaz, aware of the importance of the moment, calls a solemn meeting at the city door, where elders and leaders gather to witness the unfolding of events. With serenity and firmness, Boaz exposes before all present the issue of Ruth's rescue and redemption, respecting the established rights and traditions. The closest relative is called to express his decision before the community, and after times of suspense and reflection, he waives his right in favor of Boaz. Justice prevails, and Boaz publicly assumes the commitment to redeem Ruth before the witnesses present there, thus sealing not only a legal agreement, but also a pact of love and protection that will echo through generations. After the wedding ceremony, Boaz and Ruth celebrated the union at a magnificent party, full of joy and gratitude. Friends and family gathered to bless the couple, sharing stories of hope and overcoming. Ruth radiated happiness beside her beloved, feeling full and fulfilled for finding not only a loving husband, but a faithful companion for a lifetime. The community of Bethlehem rejoiced with the news of marriage, recognizing in him the symbol of redemption and divine restoration. The birth of Obed, the result of this blessed love, brought even more light and hope to the hearts of those who witnessed the trajectory of Boaz and Ruth. Thus, the lineage that began with Elimelech and Naomi flourished in a new generation, marked by God's care and faithfulness. Naomi, when holding the little one Obed in his arms, felt a mixture of indescribable emotions. The tears that had once been poured out by loss and suffering now gave way to renewed joy and hope. The baby's innocent smile illuminated Naomi's face, bringing with him the promise of a future full of blessings and new opportunities. Each look exchanged between grandmother and grandson was a living testimony of unconditional love that united them, transcending the pains of the past and pointing to a horizon of peace and prosperity. The community of Bethlehem rejoiced itself with the arrival of the child, celebrating the miracle of life and the restoration of family ties. Naomi was blessed to witness the rebirth of her lineage, confident that divine plans would be fulfilled through the blessed offspring of Ruth and Boaz. When we reflect on the journey of Ruth and Boaz, we are invited to see beyond the apparent circumstances and contemplate the divine plan that unfolds in every detail. The story of redemption and love that permeates events reveals God's careful and providential action in the lives of those who trust in Him. Ruth, with her courage and loyalty, becomes a living example of unshakable faith and total surrender to the divine purpose. Boaz, in turn, personifies the goodness and justice emanating from the heart of the Heavenly Father, demonstrating in his acts the loving care with the most needy. The marriage between Ruth and Boaz is not only the link of two related souls, but symbolizes the union between heaven and earth, between the human and the divine. In this context, each gesture, each pronounced word acquires a deep meaning that goes beyond the barriers of time and resonates in eternity. The lineage that begins with this blessed couple culminates on the arrival of King David, ancestor of Jesus Christ. Thus, in contemplating the story of Ruth Love that redeems, we are invited to recognize the transforming power of divine love that operates in the midst of our weaknesses and limitations, bringing redemption and hope to all those who seek it with sincerity. Are you thrilled with this amazing story? Don't miss the next biblical channel videos. And so we concluded another episode full of valuable Bible teachings. Do not forget to leave your like, share with friends, and subscribe to the channel so as not to lose any content. Until the next video!